I haven't been surprised by any means. I feel like it's always been part of my game. I've always had success with running it. There hasn't been games in the past where I haven't been, and it always helps the offense as a whole because we have an extra blocker in the run game now. Everyone's accounted for, and especially when teams are starting to play some cover one defense where they have a high safety. We got one more blocker than they do, so now the run game's even better. So I think it helps the pass game a little bit. It helps our run game, and it really kind of makes the defense kind of think about an extra aspect of the game, which makes it more difficult to plan for that.
Are you aware of how unusual it is for Iowa to have a running quarterback?
I don't know how I really don't, because I wasn't a huge Iowa fan growing up, so I wasn't really locked into who was playing for the Hawkeyes back then. But I know Brad Banks was a good runner back in the day.
23 years ago.
Yeah, that's still 23 years ago. So most of the time, it's been, I guess, in the past like 5-10 years that I've been paying attention. There hasn't really been one, so it's kind of nice to kind of add a new element to a lot of the fans that they haven't seen here in a while.
I know your linemen love it.
Yeah, no, they love it because they add, again, it makes it easier for the blocks. The run games actually ends up being better because there's extra blockers in that situation, and they have a lot of fun with it too.
Are you running more than you expected?
I would say I'm not running more than I expected, but I'm not running less than I expected.
Okay,
It's kind of like right where I'm expecting a little bit. I think it's a really great part of my game. It's a great part of our offense. Obviously, there's some games where we don't need to run as much with the quarterback. And obviously, Wisconsin, I was kind of dealing with a little bit of an injury there, so we didn't have as many quarterback runs in that game. But I enjoy it, so we're going to keep doing it.
Was your dad a running quarterback?
He was.
Okay,
Yes, he was. He played at Mount Carmel, which was just straight triple option in high school.
Okay.
And then at Drake, he ran the ball a good amount too. So,
Mark, in terms of the passing game, I know you missed a few open guys last week, overthrows, what have you. How do you correct that going forward? And is the knee affecting maybe your throwing motion or anything like that?
When I was first getting back from the knee injury, I wasn't able to get through all my throws because I was not putting enough pressure on my front leg to kind of finish those throws to get the ball down a little bit. But I ended up finishing the game pretty successful. I don't know what it was. I was 9 for 10. I think I just got to almost relax a little bit, get settled in to start off the game. Maybe get a few easy completions to start off the game. Would have been nice to have that one to Gill, get that first down going on the first drive, but didn't end up happening that way. So I think for me, just being able to get settled in, take a breath, just go out there and have fun. Because once the game starts getting settled in, I end up playing a lot better. So.
And then after that, do you think you were just running because it was working?
Yeah, once we start running, and all of a sudden we're getting 7 yards, 30 yards, 67 yards. Like when you're running the ball that well, like you got to keep it going with that kind of thing.
Even with some of those slow starts, your defense has really picked you guys up. How have they given you guys confidence on offense?
Yeah, it's been awesome, and we've been playing some great complementary football on that side of things. And at the end of that half, Xavier comes up with that awesome interception to get us to the 1 yard line, punch that in. Now we're up 3 points heading into half. Obviously, some other things happened, but let's not talk about that. But the defense has been doing great. They've been getting stops when we needed them to. They had that 4th down stop on that 4th and 1 there at the end of the game, which kind of set us up to make the game even closer, get that to a one-score game at that point. So just those complementary football that when they have success and then we have success right after, it just makes confidence throughout the entire team and creates good relationships, and we become a much closer team in that side of things.
Minnesota had 9 sacks last week. You probably got asked about that earlier.
Yeah.
But what did they present to you as a quarterback that is concerning to you?
Yeah. Especially on third, a lot of those sacks came on 3rd down when they're blitzing the house. They're trying to bring a ton of pressure at you, playing man coverage on the outside. So your receivers really got to go out there and win their one-on-one matchups. So, for us, having some plays that we can get the ball out quick. We have a great offensive line, and I know they've done a great job at passing things off, protecting us when their defense has been playing games. But for me, it's just making quick decisions out there and getting the ball out quick.
Mark, in terms of taking the ball right away, you guys have decided to receive every single game. Are you part of that conversation as the quarterback, taking the ball first? And do you know the thinking behind deciding to take the ball first and go on offense first?
To be honest, I don't know the exact the science or the statistics behind it that coach has, and I don't even know if he's done it in the past before here. But ever since the start of the season, he's kind of always came up to me pregame saying we're going to take the ball when we get it, and I'm always the one that's doing the coin toss, doing the coin flip. So mean, I always enjoy it because it's always fun to go out there and be like, whatever happens, we're pretty much getting the ball, and you know that heading into the game that you're going to have the ball first because most teams usually end up deferring.
Right. Not a lot of success on the first drives.
Yeah.
Is that part of just settling in? Is there like any thought in your mind of, man, maybe the defense should be out here first? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I haven't really thought about trying to asking coach to switch it up because I want him to have confidence in us that I'm not trying to go out there and play scared or anything like that. But I think that we just kind of have to have that confidence going in. Like, we have to think we're going to go score on this first drive. We're going to go out there and dominate. We're going to go get settled in quickly. And I think that all has to start with getting a good first down play, having an efficient first down, and really getting that first down after like a third down or a second down. I think that really gets the ball rolling on those things. So.
You're obviously not as familiar with this rivalry as the other guys here, but what have you learned about it, and what have you learned about, what Floyd means to this fan base?
I've always heard, it started a long, long time ago. One of our coaches was showing we have the list of all our wins in there of every year, and I think the first one was like back in 1930 or something like that. So this has been a long time rivalry. Rivalry weeks are always fun because everyone's always gets a little more amped up for them. I know this is rival week back in South Dakota State as well. Horns down this week for those guys over there. But it's a big rivalry week for us. Everyone's excited, and it's always usually a fun game. It's always been close too. So
during the bye week, Tim compared your running style to Tim Tebow. Is that a comp you like? And do you remember what he was like at Florida?
Yeah, he was one of my favorite players growing up. I read both his books that he came out with, and I just love how he's a Christian man. He has good values on that side of things. He's a good person, and he's one heck of a football player as well. He ran the ball hard, and he threw the ball great too. So he's one of those guys that I really followed my game after growing up.
Has Tim given you that comp before, or is that something he just gave us?
That's something that he gave you. He's never told me that, but.
And then I'm curious, you said on the touchdown where you kept it and it should have been Kamari's, you would have been graded out of 0 if you got tackled. What did you get graded out on that?
That was an A+. that's an 100. If you're right and you score a touchdown, it doesn't even matter what happened. It's an A.
What do you see from their secondary? Because whether it's Kerry Brown or Parrish has gotten all sorts of accolades. Nestor, who was here a year ago, they make plays well.
Yeah, it's great. They've been playing really well. It's nice having John Nestor there. He already gave us the game plan for this week, so we should be good on that side of things. But no, he's been playing good there. He's been having success, and a bunch of those guys in that back end. I know that they've been talking a lot about number 3 over there and how he's a big playmaker for them. So we're just going to have ideas of where those guys are playing, and we've had some different ways that we're going to go out there and attack them and hopefully be successful on Saturday.
Minnesota. Go ahead.
Mark, you've talked about, the first game of the year, you played the game before the game, you talked about how jittery you were, and then now you come in against Penn State. Wasn't perfect passing. You guys got the win. Running style, you kind of secured the game, I guess. How gratifying is it for you? That was kind of like a full parallel arc, because I think it's the last night game of the year for you guys. So you were able to kind of, I don't want to say get redemption, but kind of play up more to that standard that you want to set.
Yeah, and personally, I always like the night games. It's always fun. The crowd was rocking that last Saturday. But to start off the game with an interception is never a good idea, never a good plan in the first place. But I felt comfortable. I felt settled in there. But also to have a win like that and maybe not start out the hottest offensively in the first half. We only scored 3 points until like the last 2 minutes of the first half. To us scoring 15 in a second. It just gives us the confidence that we can kind of bounce back from things, and no matter how the game's been playing previously, that we can always kind of get this thing going and get the confidence going, the tempo going, and play well.
Meniscus 5 months ago. Is there any way you can describe what you're dealing with that I might be able to wrap my mind around? I'm not in medical terms, but just
Yeah, I don't know.
Thanks, Mark.
No, you're good. Yeah,
it's fine. I was just wondering.
Yeah,
because just to help me describe it.
I don't know. It's more just I guess. I don't even know how else to describe it other than just tightness and just some pain while just running, and again having the confidence to be able to cut off of it and everything like that is one of the biggest things. So, yeah.
Circling back to the Tim Tebow thing, what was your first memory of seeing him play?
The one thing that always pops back to me is I can't even remember what team they were playing against, but I just remember seeing his jump pass that he ended up making for that one touchdown, and ended up kind of seeing it in one of those Sports Illustrated magazines after, and that's kind of where the love for him began. It was probably when some of my teammates still weren't even born yet, I started watching him, but I mean, ever since I remember watching football, he was one of the first players I can remember watching.
Did you recreate the jump pass in the backyard?
I definitely did a couple times for sure.
Someone said I thought it was a good stat. Like I think you're 54-8 as a starter, but the Indiana game and I think your freshman year you didn't finish one of those games. So
Yes.
Are you technically 54-6?
I'll
then?
count that 54-6. You know, I would have loved.
But that stinks, though.
Well, the first one. I mean, the one in my freshman year. I mean, I got hurt in the 6th play of the game, so that one's really tough on me to be able to count that as a loss for me. Obviously, Indiana, we were tied when I left the game.
You're up 3. Well, technically.
But I think I think it was. Were we up 3?
Well, he kicked the field goal to put you up 3 right after you got hurt. But
Oh, I thought it was tied. Anyways.
Right?
No, I think it was tied. I think it was 13-13. Because they scored the touchdown and it was 2013. Right? Yeah.
No, he came. No, you came out.
You went ahead.
You came out and then Drew hit a 54-yarder to give you guys a lead.
Yeah.
The 13-10 lead.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then
okay.
they went down
They
and kicked
came
the
down,
field
got
goal.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So I left the game with the lead. You know, there you go. So I mean, that's always a tough loss to go on your resume. But obviously, it's not about the resume. It's not about what that whole record and everything goes about. And it's obviously cool and all to have that kind of, I guess, stat. But yeah.
I guess it's as far as I guess what I'm getting at is like finishing games. Is that something you've really? I don't know. How do you get good at that? I mean.
Yeah, I think it just takes a lot of experience, and one thing is just making sure. I know I'm a leader on this team. I'm one of the captains, and making sure that I'm getting the other captains up and amped up, and given them confidence to know that we can come back from any deficit that we're facing, and making sure, because I'm not be able to talk to the whole team, so I got to be able to communicate with Lojo and Dunker on the offensive line. They'll talk to those guys down there. I'll talk to maybe Jacob Gill, who's a leader in the wide receiver room, and he can start getting those guys amped up around him. So maybe having those conversations with guys and bringing the energy out of everyone is one of the biggest things, and keeping the juice flowing. Maybe when you are down and the confidence, maybe not down, but confidence is down, you got to be able to build that back up for everybody around you.
When you look at your first game, you were a little too amped up, as you've said. How have you maintained that or tried to cut it down, be excited, energetic, yet focused and not over the top?
Yeah, I mean, before games, the night before, or even sometimes in the morning, since we've been playing a lot of late games, I have like a whole envisioning routine, mental like rehearsal pretty much, and kind of going through it all. And one of the parts is kind of imagining when you're getting out of the tunnel pre-game, and I always try to just have myself be calm as possible and kind of think like breathe in confidence, release out any doubt, breathe in confidence, release out any fear, just kind of trying to make sure that my body is as confident as possible and I don't have any doubts about my abilities or anything like that, and I can kind of go out there and play free and play fast.
You know, at South Dakota State, you really endeared yourself to your teammates. I remember, I think it was the Incarnate Word game where it was like 16 degrees last year, and you're out there, you know, with no sleeves on and everything, and it's like, and I think you were asked about that, and at the time you're like, hey, my guys are doing this, I'm doing it too for them. How do you feel like, why or how have you built those relationships with linemen who are so pivotal to the quarterback, but also how have you translated it to here, because, you know, you're going out with trying to run on one leg, and they're doing the same thing, and they're fine.
Yeah, you know, I mean, with the offensive line, I'm always trying to hang out with them, and whenever I'm walking through the halls here, I'm always trying to have a conversation with whoever I'm passing by, just to kind of build those relationships. But also, I mean, every week we have an O-line supper. I always try to attend, always try to hang out with the guys, just to break bread with them, continue to have those conversations, and even when we're up in the All-American room, we're always having conversations. I always try to sit with those guys. And when you can have those guys back, you build those relationships with you, they begin to have your back, especially when you're out there. And I mean, you saw when I got the late hit, Trevor comes running over trying to protect me out there. And I mean, those guys that when they're playing for you that hard, it makes you want to play for them even harder out there. And especially when it's cold out here, I'm interested to see what they're going to end up doing, if they're going to start putting on sleeves or not, or if they're going no sleeves, I'm going to go no sleeves with them. I got to give a quick funny story today with Jeremy. I mean, it's still, 50 degrees outside. You know, Jeremy's from the south. He was in some cold weather gear out there, and he was kind of worried about the cold, which I thought was kind of funny today. But, you know, today was awesome, and I'm going to try and go no sleeves as long as I can with those guys if they're going to go no sleeves too.
Do you go to the Ozarks with the offensive
I did,
line?
yeah.
What
I did.
What do you remember from that experience?
I mean, it was a blast. I mean, again, I've only been here for 5 months at that time, so I have some relationships with a lot of the O linemen, but maybe not some of the two deep guys or even like the younger freshmen. And I ended up driving down with Will Nolan and Josh Janikowski, and just having the conversations with them and being able to kind of get to know those guys. I think that was the coolest part of getting to know almost everybody instead of just kind of the starting five.
Did you go off the high dive when they're high
I
dive?
did. We went off the high dive. We went golfing one day down there, and I mean, those are just like some just fun aspects that kind of just bring an entire team closer together.
Was there other non-linemen there?
The only other one was Zach Ortworth.
Okay.
He was a tight end. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about a couple of your plays there. Which ones did you go rogue? Was it on the goal line? Was that touchdown the one you went rogue?
The touchdown one I went rogue, and then obviously the last one, it wasn't me going rogue, but it was me and Lester kind of going rogue because everyone else on the team again thought that we were running a certain play, but he only communicated with me to keep it, and everyone else to kind of pursue and pretend like they're running that one, and I ended up having it around the edge.